Hello and good evening. I was recently playing Socom Confrontation on my PS3, me and another friend of mine. And since the patch was released for Socom Confrontation, the patch I think was 1.30, the game has improved considerably. I mean, it is a lot more fun to play. I mean, it's almost like Socom now the way it is now. It's like the way almost every I guess online team multiplayer game should be played because I don't know if it's like people feel compelled to do it because of the fact that it's like the U.S. Navy SEALs, so it's like more official. But it's like after playing that, I just wanted to go back to Grand Theft Auto 4, and like hopefully people were playing like that on Grand Theft Auto 4. But the issue is that on Grand Theft Auto 4, people like to well, most people, not everybody, but most people I played with on Grand Theft Auto 4, they like to play with something called the blips on, which I imagine there are those of you that have played Grand Theft Auto 4 are familiar with these blips. But essentially, the blips tell you where everybody's located, whether they be friend or foe. So everybody knows where everybody is, so there's no necessity for your team to operate as a team. Essentially, you're on a team of people that are essentially working towards the same goal, but you're not working towards the same goal as a team because of the fact that there's no need for me to communicate with you because you know where the enemy is. So I can't tell you I'm over here with so and so enemy and I need your help. You're like, well, you can probably see the enemy that I'm talking about, so there's not a necessity for us to communicate. But with SOCOM and I guess other games that don't have blips on, or I guess the equivalent of blips in other games, because I believe, to my knowledge, I guess Grand Theft Auto is like the only one that gives you the option of putting the blips on for the entire game, as far as I know. I could be wrong on that, but um, yeah. So SOCOM doesn't do that. I mean, unless you were to actually just give away your position by shooting off your gun or throwing an explosive like near you, that's understandable why you would show up on someone's radar. But just being on the radar from the get go and just knowing where your enemy is the entire game, I mean, there's no team necessary. I mean, it's just I just felt so good playing SOCOM like that, and those first two matches we won in SOCOM, while the last two we lost. So out of four games, we won 50% of the time. We won two out of the four. But even though we lost, it was still a fun game. I mean, I loved it. And I just wish that more people would, I guess, pick up on this. I mean, I'm not sure if this is already happening on the other systems, the Wii or the 360, but um, it's amazing when you can, I guess, work together as a team on these games. I mean, it just felt so good. It felt really, really good. So, yeah. Hopefully, I can find some more people that play Grand Theft Auto 4 without the blips on, or at least put them on far. Because I can understand why you would like them on at to some extent, because of the fact that you're running around in a city and you could actually just run around the city and not actually run into an enemy for the entire match. So if you put the blips on far, or essentially on some sort of stipulation, so that they're not on the entire match, or if they are on, it's on like leader, which essentially whoever's leading the match or whoever's winning in points or money in the game, then that leader is shown the entire match. So that way, everybody who's involved in the match has essentially a point of interest that is always there. So you know that the leader's there, and there's probably going to be some other people around that leader as well. So you know what to be expecting. But if you have them on far, everybody's far, so at least you have a rough idea of the direction that they're in, as opposed to like you just going north, and for all you know, they could actually be south, somewhere behind you. But I guess I can understand why you don't want them off all the time, is what I'm saying. I mean, but at least put them on far. I mean, that I guess I'm the biggest fan of far, unless we're playing in some sort of enclosed space, you know. Um, but yeah, for I guess for those of you that have SOCOM Confrontation, you're probably aware of the improvements that have been made to the game since the patch has been released. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just had a really good time on it, and look forward to getting back on it soon. My PSN ID is JAGOS901. So if you're on there, hit me up.